potential buyout, heading to WWE, being blocked by AEW, possibly if he would even go back there. We all know the stories about, some maybe bad blood between him and Triple H, who's obviously running the show, but Vince is gone. Is that who was maybe preventing Punk from returning? What do you think? Is this just another unending soap opera?
Do we really think that Punk wants another run? Has he been out there saying, I want another WWE run? He kind of left there like, kind of shit on them, right? It wasn't like the best departure from what I recall. He gets an offer years later from AEW. He's making buku bucks. This stuff happens, unfortunately. He's out again. Do we know that he wants to continue in this business? Isn't he 42 years old?
He's 42.
42.
Old,
Not that that's old. I mean, he could pull a Terry Funk and work till 75, 80 years old. All the guys can. But how do we know he even wants another run? Who's he talking to? Is somebody leaking information? Did Meltzer leak information that Punk said he wants another WWE run? I mean, come on.
I don't think Meltzer would know that one, but
that's what I'm saying. Does he even?
You got to think, though, that this one is ending unceremoniously, perhaps, and with a sour taste in his mouth, that maybe he rights the wrong. If Vince is truly gone from WWE, which, there are some out there who we both speak to regularly that think he's not. If he's truly gone from the company, maybe him and Triple H can mend the fences and you get that epic return of CM Punk under the big lights of a WrestleMania or something.
You could, but does he want it? It's all about, do you want it? Do you need it? How does your body feel at this point? They're not going to just bring him back for like one night in Chicago in his hometown to get a pop. They're going to want to sign him, I would assume, for like 3 years or so. Can his body take another, 300 days on the road? Because it's a bigger schedule than AEW. It's a heavier schedule. AEW doesn't work as much as WWE.
No.
So the money's probably kind of the same if you think about it. I think they would match what he made. Does he need the money? Does he want more on his body? I heard he said he wasn't feeling that great. Like, he's 42 years old. My body's not what it used to be. I mean, we all say that. We're all aging. I don't know. Does he want another run?
I didn't think he wanted this run.
Right.
I was shocked that he came back. But, I look at it from the merchandising point of view. If this is true, and this is a report by Dave Meltzer at the current time, that there's a talk of there's talk of a buyout. Not that there is, that there's talk of a buyout. What does that do for the merchandisers and the advertising that are buying into AEW because they think that name of CM Punk and that fan base of CM Punk is going to come along with it? Does that deter you? And again, here's what we're talking about. Yet another blemish on the ass of AEW.
Is there, I forget what you told me earlier. Is there going to be a no compete clause?
The discussion is that the buyout would have a no compete clause in it, and that could be the holdup.
So how many years did he sign with AEW? Was it a 3-year contract?
That I'm not aware of.
Okay, because it's only been, what, a year?
Yeah, a little over one.
Okay, so we would
have over
roughly,
a year.
Yeah, roughly 2 years to just sit home and wait. So in those 2 years, since we've seen him in AEW, we've seen what he's capable of. People have seen what he looks like. People have heard the backstage rumors or truth, whatever it is, because we weren't there. We don't know. We don't know what happened. In 2 years, are people still going to be chanting CM Punk? Do they even care about him in 2 years?
Yeah.
You're only as good as your last run. So I hear. So people tell me. Is he going to be, because it's WWE, does he get that massive pop because he returns back to that company who got rid of him years ago? Or does he bow out gracefully and say, well, I gave it another run. Didn't work out the way I wanted to. I got some money. I'll sit home. I'll relax. I'll do other things. Maybe not MMA. Maybe not independent wrestling. But maybe there's other things that he can do with his life. I don't know. Only CM Punk knows. Only Phil knows. and time will tell. I don't think he needs another run. My opinion.
Yeah, I gotta say he's going back if given the chance. I
You
think
think he
they
will?
yeah,
Okay.
100%. I think it's, if anything,
At
it's a big
45 years old, you think he's
I
gonna?
think if they can, something tells me if this is a true buyout, and I think that if there's a no compete, it'll be your standard 90-day. There's no way he's going to have somebody prevent him from doing what he wants. He doesn't seem like that kind of guy who's going to let somebody tell him what he can or cannot do. I think he's got to call the shots.
Do you think that this whole experience left a bad taste in his mouth about wrestling?
I do.
Yeah.
And that's
Okay.
where some of that does scare me in terms of, you don't want an ambassador with a history like CM Punk to walk away and turn his back on pro wrestling because, even though sometimes he's a little terse and he's a little strong with his words, I love the way he talks about wrestling. He has an interesting take, but I don't know. Now let me ask you this: I always got to try to spin it back to you and to your career. Let's just say you're the perfect picture.
Hypothetically speaking.
You're the perfect picture of health. You don't have your injuries and those nagging pains that you wake up with
Really?
every day because of those
Really?
bumps. Let's just say you don't. Just say you don't. Okay. And now that Vince McMahon is gone and Triple H is running a different style of WWE, let's just safely assume that it is different. Would you have that potential feeling of wanting to get back what you didn't get fulfilled in 2006?
Absolutely not. There is not one thought that ever crosses my mind that includes working for the WWE ever. So I hope that answers your question.
I just got to ask. I'm the journalist here. I
No.
just have to ask
No,
you the hard-hitting questions.
I don't want to be on the road. I don't crave the spotlight anymore. It makes me nervous. The independent shows that I have coming up are making me friggin' nervous. Having to go back on a national stage, I think I'd have a heart attack. I'm 50 years old. No one wants this. No one wants to see this. I have no desire to have another run, so to speak. I think my big final run was 2006, and it didn't go the way I wanted it to. But I moved on, and it led me to other opportunities, and I'm happy with that. I'm happy with my life, and I regret nothing. So